What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be doing another Manchester City transfer update. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you want to stay up to date here on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, then do make sure you have subscribed to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 300 likes. We hit 300 on the last transfer update, so if we could hit it on this one as well, then that would be great. And do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got no contract news, so we're going to dive straight on in with the outs. Firstly, we've got an update on Kyle Walker, and word coming in from Italy via Gazzetto Dello Sport as saying that it's looking more likely that AC Milan will not be taking up their option to sign Kyle Walker permanently this summer for €5 million as per his loan deal from the January transfer window. So it's looking like potentially Kyle Walker will be returning back to Manchester City this summer and could be available for the club World Cup. So I'm wondering what might be next for Kyle Walker if it isn't going to be AC Milan. Of course, you have other clubs across Europe that potentially could be interested. Maybe a big money move to Saudi Arabia, though Kyle Walker has played down him wanting to move to Saudi Arabia. Maybe the USA, maybe a team like New York City Football Club, and keeping him inside the City Football Group could be something that we look towards. Maybe even staying in the Premier League should his boyhood club Sheffield United secure promotion to the Premier League in May, then that also could be an option. And I'm sure there won't be short of suitors when it comes to Kyle Walker in particular available for a very low fee. I wouldn't rule out Manchester City even prepared to accept no fee if they don't regard Kyle Walker as having a future at the club, which is what we've heard word of already. However, this has, and it's quite interesting, that sources in Italy are saying that AC Milan are not interested, yet sources close to Manchester City in England are saying that AC Milan are interested. And Martin Blackburn, normally very reliable with City info, has said that AC Milan are still thinking about making a move for Kyle Walker this summer and making that loan deal permanent. So we're getting conflicting stories, so we will have to wait and see what the future does hold. But Kyle Walker's future does need sorting, I would say, over the next 6 to 8 weeks by Manchester City, so we know what the situation is going to be in terms of our defence heading into next season and into the summer transfer window as well. Now, moving on to the final story in the outs, we've got the latest on James McAtee, and Jack Gaughan has said that Bayer Leverkusen and Nottingham Forest still hold an interest in James McAtee heading into the summer transfer window from their interest in the January transfer window. Now, McAtee is heading into the final year of his Manchester City contract this summer. Manchester City are believed to be looking for a similar amount for what we was asking for McAtee in January for what we're going to be asking for in the summer, which we're looking at around £20 to £25 million. Florian Plettenberg in Germany has said that nothing is advanced for McAtee to sign for Bayer Leverkusen this summer, but James McAtee and his camp are aware of the interest and they are keeping an eye on the interest as well. He does say that McAtee is keen on a move to Germany and a move to Bayer Leverkusen. And as I said in my last transfer update, reading between the lines, the fact that Manchester City aren't in discussions right now with James McAtee to sign him onto a new contract, and it's all very quiet on that front, seems to be right now suggesting to me that potentially James McAtee sees his future away from Manchester City. One thing or another is going to happen. No other situation. It's either going to be new contract for McAtee or he leaves this summer. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got the latest on Sverre Nypan, the 18-year-old Norwegian central midfielder from Rosenborg. In January, he visited the Etihad Stadium and held discussions with Manchester City, with Arsenal and Aston Villa. And then we've not heard anything since the January transfer window. So here we are several months later, and apparently he's closing in on a decision. And Fabrizio Romano has said that Aston Villa are the club that are closing in on signing Sverre Nypan from Rosenborg. He's most keen on their project. Now, David Ornstein at The Athletic has said that Aston Villa still need to agree terms with the player and they still need to agree a fee with Rosenborg, but it is looking like Aston Villa have won the race to sign Nypan Nypan. Manchester City did put their proposal to Sverre Nypan. Apparently they wanted to use him around the City football group, with Girona being the club that City were most keen on him joining and going there and trying to work his way around and through the ranks in the City football group, and eventually maybe ending up at Manchester City. Arsenal wanted to use him around their academy first before potentially promoting him to the first team, and I do believe that Aston Villa have said no academy, no loans. They want him around the first team squad, and I think that's what's made up Nypan's decision here about what he thinks is best. He thinks he's ready. He thinks he's ready for Premier League football, and Aston Villa are the team that are willing to offer him that. He's believed to be available for around £10 to £15 million all in on the transfer, and that transfer nearing completion but isn't done as of yet. So I'm wondering, maybe Man City may want to make a last-ditch attempt to try and sign him. If not, then I imagine City will walk away and Nypan will become an Aston Villa player, which right now is what I'm expecting to happen. Now, moving on to the penultimate transfer, got an interesting update on Xavi Simons. Now, the Mail have said that Manchester City have been following and really like Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig. He's a soon-to-be 22-year-old attacking midfielder who can also play out on the right wing and on the left wing. He's made 21 appearances so far in the Bundesliga with 9 goals and 5 assists. Contracted at RB Leipzig until 2027. He did sign a permanent deal with RB Leipzig from Paris Saint-Germain in January. That deal was worth €50 million plus €31 million in bonuses. I imagine, should any sale be sanctioned, that RB Leipzig would be looking to try and get all of that money back plus some more to try and profit as well, especially with Manchester City, Manchester United and Liverpool all keen. Doesn't sound like he's got too long left on his contract, but I do believe there's a clause in his contract which would allow RB Leipzig to sell to a big Premier League team or a big European team as long as the finances make sense. And it's all to do with money. This is RB Leipzig. They've chosen to spend a lot of money on Xavi Simons from PSG because they want that cash rather than PSG. So they've paid PSG a lot of money because they feel like they're going to be able to progress Xavi Simons into a very big transfer. So you'll probably be looking here, I reckon, probably north of €90 million. So the question is, do Manchester City feel like that is value for money for Xavi Simons, or do they want to have a look at other players instead? Maybe an alternative to Florian Wirtz and maybe the potential successor to Kevin De Bruyne, but not really a similar player. And I really like Xavi Simons. I think he's got a lot of potential. I just don't think right now he's what Man City are looking for, and I wouldn't be prepared to spend so much money for a player that maybe isn't ready. Give it another year or two, maybe he will be ready. Maybe he'll sign a new contract at RB Leipzig, maybe he'll be worth even more. I'm not too sure, but going off, there's already interest out there. Maybe Xavi Simons will leave RB Leipzig this summer. Will it be to Man City? I'm not too sure about that. Now, moving on to the final transfer, and this is a signing I think that would make a lot of sense for Manchester City. It's an update on Tijjani Reijnders. Now, he's a 26-year-old Dutch central midfielder from AC Milan, and Sacha Tavolieri has said that Manchester City see Reijnders as the perfect Ilkay Gundogan replacement. Now, Manchester City don't regard Reijnders as signing a new deal recently at AC Milan as much of a problem, and Reijnders apparently would be really keen on a move to Manchester City. It's been described as an irresistible move, and these words that I'm hearing, these encouraging words, are exactly the kind of transfer that Manchester City would be looking at. Now, AC Milan wants €65 million for Reijnders in the summer, not including bonuses, so it would be deal worth more than €65 million, but it is definitely an affordable deal with the player being really keen on the move. The question is, what are Manchester City going to do with Ilkay Gundogan? You'd notice my careful wording in my last transfer update where Ilkay Gundogan's contract extension has been triggered as per the appearance clause in the contract. So he's under contract at Manchester City now until 2026 rather than the summer of 2025. It means Man City would have to sanction a sale of Ilkay Gundogan, with some interest coming in from other clubs from around the globe in Ilkay Gundogan this summer. And there is apparently a gentleman's agreement in place that should Manchester City feel like this season, at the end of the season, is the best time for Ilkay Gundogan to leave the club once more, then he'd be happy to leave as long as it was to a club that he's happy to go and join. He's got a lot of respect for Manchester City, so if he feels like his time is up at Manchester City. He's happy to walk away a year before his contract, and I don't think City will be looking for any fee. So I'm still not going to sit here and rule out, despite that contract extension being triggered, that Ilkay Gundogan will leave Manchester City this summer. I can see it happening. I can see City wanting to overhaul that midfield and wanting to bring in some fresh new faces and new legs into that midfield. And if Gundogan does leave, I think Tijjani Reijnders would be a cracking signing and the kind of player that City want to be having a look at heading into the summer transfer window. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 300 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.